I'm a Christian.
Well, I'm a virgin.
Rain says she is a devout Christian and a virgin.
Sure, she's a virgin.
سلام به کانال آرسنما خوش اومدید. خواهش میکنم در ابتدای ویدیو سابسکرایب یادتون نره.
43 million is crazy. I honestly did not think I'd be making anywhere close to that amount when I started, so I just want to say thank you to all of y'all out there, every single one of you guys who have been supporting me this whole time. I owe you guys. Like, this is all because of you, so thank you so much.
Was it that bad?
I don't want anyone thinking that about me. I'm a Christian. Like, I know it's like it seems odd. I'm doing what did you call it? OnlyFans? I don't do anything else with anyone on my OnlyFans. Like, it's just me. I was just trying to do social media. I've always wanted to be like an influencer. You know, I look up to all these different influencers, and I was like, I want to do that just for, you know, shits and giggles, just to do something fun.
Sophie Rain made more money on OnlyFans than many of the NBA's biggest stars. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this list right here. Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Edwards. Look at the money that they're making. 42 million for Anthony Edwards, right? In fact, this platform has grown so much that in 2023, OnlyFans content creators earned a total of $6.6 billion, which exceeds the total of salaries earned by the entire National Basketball Association, which was at $4.9 billion, according to Basketball Forever. Ms. Rain says she is a devout Christian and a virgin. So Sophie made 43 million and almost 5 million from Charlie. I guess he might be the horniest man in America, huh?
What do you do? What do you do for work? What do you do?
I create content. I'm a content creator. I post on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and then I also do OnlyFans.
What do you do on OnlyFans? What do you...
Well, I'm a virgin, so I don't do anything like crazy on there. There's nothing crazy on there.
They had this one lady who was saying she made $40 million this year on OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, that's nuts.
40 million.
And she's a virgin, I guess, and she doesn't post sex stuff.
Sure, she's a virgin. Sure. She's a 23-year-old big-titted virgin. The only one that exists in the whole world.
See, that's an interesting scenario, if true, because it's like a lot of dudes want to shit on these chicks for being like prostitutes, essentially.
Right.
But like, if she was actually a virgin and she's posting like almost nude but not quite, but making a bunch of money off it,
yeah,
there's like two contradictory things going on right now.
Yeah, she wins. But the problem is, I don't want to tell anybody to not do anything. Like, ladies, you do what you want, you do you. If I was a young pretty girl, I'd probably be on OnlyFans. I'd probably make some money. Fuck it. Why would I want to be a waitress when I could just show my tits? That's how I would look at it. The problem is twofold. One, you become addicted to an extraordinary amount of money if you're successful at it, right? So there's like a scale of people on the OnlyFans, apparently. Most of the OnlyFans, we talked about this, right? Like, most of the gals don't make that much money. Most of them...
Yeah, I mean, what's that much? 6 figures or millions or?
No, like even less. Like, most of them make like a few $1,000s a month.
I think so. I think out of this 43, one guy paid her $5 million, she said.
Dude, that's insane. Dude, it would suck too is if you went full board and you did like actual porn
and you made
just got like banged on camera just for thinking you're going to become a multimillionaire, and then you still are like...
You would have to get banged on camera a lot for years to really develop a fan base. And you have to do a really good job, like, every time. Super enthusiastic. But my point is, like, you're not going to, like, most beautiful young women want a high-value man as a husband. If, let's say, they're heterosexual. Let's just assume they want to get married. If they do want to get married, they do want a relationship, you're not going to get a high-value man, especially if you're making millions of dollars a year doing this. You're going to want a guy who makes millions of dollars a year, right? You're not going to want a guy who makes less than you. You're probably used to buying fucking Louis Vuitton, this and that, and you're used to all this shit. So you're wealthy, right? So your dating pool's smaller because you're probably not interested in a guy who makes $100,000 a year. Like a regular guy to you is like, what is he going to do? He can't even take me anywhere. This is I'm going to pay for our vacation. Get the fuck out of here, right? So you've already like cut like regular guys out. So now you have a very small pool of men that you can date. And then out of that pool, how many of them are going to accept the fact that you're doing this? Now you have an even smaller pool. So some guys will accept it, but for how long? Like if you get real serious, you get married, and then you're still showing your asshole to everybody. That's, you're addicted to that money. Like, are you going to pick a relationship over this guy who may or may not be DMing his ex-girlfriend? You're going to throw it all away and throw away this $40 million a year empire you've created? Or are you trapped in that essentially forever?
Yeah, it's interesting the thresholds though too of where they become successful for what they're doing, because it seems like some of them don't have to show their asshole. They just post like thirst trap fitness girl type content almost.
And people pay for that? Why would they pay for that when there's so much of that for free on Instagram?
I know, that's like the common question. And
my search page on Instagram is all butts.
So you are aware that like you're the final boss when it comes to OF, right?
Is that what they say?
I just need to know like how much are you making a month? I actually like kind of tearing up. $4 million? $4 million in a month?
Yeah.
I actually heard about Sophie Rain months ago, and it was from my daughter, Sophia, who happened to see her stuff on TikTok. So when I think everyone sensationalizes, oh my gosh, I made so much money on OnlyFans, I think we missed the point of what TikTok really is doing is creating a adult TikTok persona that stems from TikTok, and then what that person is then doing, whether it was Sophie or it was all the girls in her clique, her other girlfriends that she associates that do a podcast to help her look like she's making more money, right? We have two women who are challenging each other, who's going to make more money on OnlyFans, whatever the case may be. But really, you're looking at a person who got TikTok famous. That's why my daughter brought her up. And then you're seeing that she exploits the fact of virginity, if you will, for men to then go on to her platform and unlock some naughty virgin stuff, right? What I just have to say, because I am a woman of a good heart and I know it and I know the business very well, I'm getting a graduate degree in marketing, digital marketing, is that this is not factual, but what she can show to people to make it factual is a bank statement. How much do you pay your team? I just know that I negotiate down when people I have running my pages. I'm one human. I am one parent and I can only do so much. So I pay my teams global teams. I pay people all the time. So I do know for the girls who just start out like a Sophie Rain or anyone like Sophie Rain, adult TikToker, they're paying so much more money to market, to have these agencies take more money. I'm seeing agencies take up to these other littler girls and stuff of 50%. So I'm happy we have this conversation going. I'm happy Sophie Rain's acting like she's doing something different. She's making more money. But look, I've done the private jets, the cars, I've done it all. But I also know in my young 20s that those other influences, especially male influences, it's a lot of toxicity. So you don't need to compete with other women. You don't need to do all these tactics.